And both sides keeping a poker face meanwhile, neither side giving much away. If I were Magnus, if I just lost a pawn for free, I would be, I don't know, beating myself up. I would just be shaking my head.
So I was going to ask, do they see each other?
That's a very good question. They can if they want to. They can have a choice. But I don't think Magnus has his camera open most of the time, has the opponent's camera open most of the time.
Yeah. But is this a thing in chess where you like analyze the opponent and draw conclusions based on eye movements and things like that?
Definitely. I mean,
David does it all the time, right?
Yeah, I'm obsessed with staring. I stare at the opponent too much. I think most of my opponents get really uncomfortable. They're like, why is he looking at me? But definitely, when you play over the board, it's impossible to ignore what's happening. Wow, what has just happened there? Magnus plays bishop takes pawn.
Whoa.
He's completely hallucinated. Magnus just lost a piece for free. And has he given up?
He has given up. Wow. He has resigned.
That you will never see that from a world champion. Magnus just took a pawn, but now black will play bishop takes bishop and black will be a piece up for free and win the game. So Magnus just resigns.
What is up with the world champion? This is a huge development. Eric Hansen, the second lowest ranked player in the tournament, the chess streamer, has just beaten with the black pieces the world champion. And Magnus is still sitting looking at this. What is he thinking, David?
I don't know. He must have been really surprised and shocked with himself because it appears like he hallucinated something.
Yeah, sometimes we talk about chess blindness. Sometimes you just make assumptions, you just forget about something. For example, maybe here he just forgot his bishop could be captured by the black light-squared bishop and he's just a piece down. Something just went wrong in his calculations there. Maybe that was on his mind, but he just played it in the wrong order. That can happen too. Sometimes that's the second move in your mind. But if you play it first, it can all go wrong. And here we see Magnus. Is this after the game? Is this just...
This is live.
This is live. OK. Yeah, just confused. As Jovanka said, it's that one word, hallucination. Just seeing ghosts, seeing something that isn't there. And, unfortunately, blundering a piece for free.
Usually we would see an angry reaction from Magnus after a blunder like that. Is this just him not in his best form?
Yeah, maybe still suffering the after effects of COVID. I know, people talk about the COVID fog when it's just hard to get your brain working sometimes. And especially when he made a mistake in the previous move, they say that mistakes come in pairs, blunders come in pairs, and one bad move led to another. And led to a loss as well.
And Eric Hansen, he just got up and left as soon as he could.
We saw him raise his hands in jubilation. He did completely unexpected because, I think he was preparing himself mentally for that fight. And then Magnus just gave him a gift.
He is still looking over this, and we have to do the same, David. What on earth happened here?
Yeah, was it a blunder? Was it a moment of madness? Was it a mouse slip? Sometimes you can blame this guy on making bad moves, but let's just show the first blunder by Magnus, the first mistake. Here, as we mentioned, this pawn under attack and this knight takes pawn was a threat. So Magnus needed to retreat his knight, but this was a difficult move to find. Instead, he brought his rook across one square, and now Eric did pounce. Knight takes pawn. There's not enough time to capture the black queen, because the white queen would fall with check. This is the key. And after the knight is captured, black would actually win the white rook at the very end. So white would now be down on material significantly. Instead, Magnus had to retreat his queen, which is under fire. And once this happened, black stepped back. We saw white move the bishop that's under attack from the black queen now. But after the knight retreated, this was the moment. This is where Magnus hallucinated, made a fatal mistake. If he plays bishop takes bishop, just a fair trade. Yes, he's a pawn down, but he has chances to save the game. The game would go on for a long, long time. But instead, we saw Magnus play a bizarre move. He took this pawn, and he didn't even wait for Eric to move. He resigned, because after bishop takes bishop, black is simply up a piece for free. It's hard to explain. Maybe we need Magnus to explain it later to us, but mouse slip, blunder, whatever it was, Magnus will struggle now to recover from that blunder.